welcome to People on Dating. I'm your host, Will Morales. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this is a topic-based conversation about the ups and downs of dating. Whether you're 18 to 80 years old, you have a story to tell. But the gist of this podcast is just a conversation, no judgment. And today I have Kim Sorrelle. Did I pronounce your last name right?
You did a perfect job.
All right. So Kim is a cancer surviving, entertaining widow and an expert on love. She serves up inspiration with a side of humor and a life application for dessert. I love that. That's like the best bio I ever read. It's right to the point, and you add a little humor, a little food for us. So anyway, Kim, thank you so much for being on People on Dating. How are you?
I am doing great. Will, thank you so much for having me. I hope you're doing great too.
I am, and it's a pleasure to have you on. So today's topic is five shocking truths we were never taught about love, which we'll definitely get into. But Kim, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know, I mean, my guy, your bio is that's like three books in itself. So how did you get into the space about love and caring? And I know you also was a coach in basketball. So let's talk a little bit about your coaching and how did you get into this space?
Yeah, well, uh I played sports. I played three sports when I was in school: basketball, volleyball, and softball. I'm a big believer in sports and being on a team and the things that it does for people. And my coaches having such a huge impact on me that I wanted to coach. And so I coached basketball when I was in high school, younger kids, and right out of high school. I coached for years and years. And then I got into also coaching varsity volleyball. And
Wow.
I like to win. That's fun.
Yes,
But
I agree.
yeah, but I love mentoring. I love coaching. I love the kind of relationship that can be developed with a coach and a player.
No, sounds good. Like I said, reading your bio, I was like amazed. I'm like, I definitely have to have her on. So today's topic is, like I said, five shocking truths we were never taught about love. What was it about that topic that made you want to talk about, for me to talk about it, but for you to share your insights of love? What was it about this topic in particular? And how do you come up with like five truths or five lies or whatever, you know?
Right, like, what are my credentials? Why is it that I'm worthy to speak about this,
No,
right?
I'm not going to say, oh,
Well
no, I would never
well,
say it
no,
like
but
that.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, anybody would ask because it's, this topic that a lot of people talk about. And what
Yeah.
separates me from anybody else? Well, I decided to figure out the truth about love. I was diagnosed with cancer 4 months later. My husband was diagnosed with cancer. He passed away
No, I'm
6 weeks
sorry about
after
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm so
was
sorry.
47 years
Yeah.
old and single, so I know what a nightmare the dating scene is. In fact, I've got a theory about that, Will. I think there are 3 good men my age in the world. I live in Michigan, so the 3 good men, one of them lives in Australia, one of them lives in France, and the other one's at the North Pole. And I'm not going to any of those places, so I don't know how I'm gonna meet them.
Right.
But but anyway, I questioned love after losing my husband, and so I dedicated a full year to figuring out the truth about love, what love really is. And
Mhm.
I found out so much good stuff because I focused so hard on it. And now I do believe I'm an expert. I know things that people don't know.
Right. Yeah. So we'll definitely get to the five shocking truths. We'll go one by one, and if there's anything I want to add or question, I'll definitely go into it. So let's start. Let's start with the first one. What are the shocking truths we were never taught about love?
Well, one is there is no number on love. You cannot put a number on love. A lot of times, relationship coaches will say it's got to be 50-50, it's got to be 100-100. Well, there's no number. There's no
Hmm.
number to love. You don't have a basket that's only so full.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
can give as much love as you want to give. So
Hmm.
you will not run out of love. It cannot have a number on it.
Okay, yeah, because we always hear, especially in the dating scene now, when and I'm hearing the young people talk about it has to be 50-50, it has to be a partnership, or we both got to give 100. And so how did you come up with that theory that there is no number? What was it that you saw out there that we don't know about when it came
Well,
to like that? There's no such thing as a number. We give whatever we can give.
right. Well, one of the things that I learned in this year of living love was that we are only responsible for ourselves. We have no control
Mm,
over anyone. Parents can testify to this, that when you have an infant, you have total control.
right.
You decide when they eat, when their diaper gets changed, when they bathe. You have total control. But by 6 months old, they're crawling around and grabbing all your Tupperware out of your cupboard. You have lost all control and you never gain it back again. So we have no control over anyone but ourselves. And so because of that, we get to be in full control of ourselves. And so we get to give as much as we want to give.
I like that. Okay. We're responsible for ourselves, for us. We give whatever we can give. I love that. So, what's number two?
Number two is you hear quite often that love is a two-way street,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
not true. Love is one-way street. Love is up to you, period. Love is
Mm,
up to you. So it doesn't matter what else is going on in the world. You give love, and that's it, period. Like
right.
if you get anything in return, then you get something in return. But the amount of love you give, deciding to love, living love, being love to people, it is on you. It's 100% on you.
Okay. So if we're not getting that reciprocated, is there something that we could do to whether increase our love, if that's such a thing, past 100%? Or do we think that the partner we have that's not reciprocating the love we're giving to them, maybe it's not worthy of us, that we should just maybe trot along and look for something else? What do you
Well,
think?
it's kind of funny. Early in my marriage, I thought about ending it. Like I
Mm,
was home with little kids, with babies, and I was doing all the laundry and all the cooking and all the cleaning. And my husband would come home from work, put his feet up, have dinner, go lay down on the couch, take a nap. And I thought, well, what's he contributing here? I felt like I was doing all the work.
yeah.
Why am I in a relationship? What's going on? But I decided I wanted a good marriage. I wanted a
Mhm.
great marriage. I wanted a happy marriage. So I decided what I would do is give everything I had, do everything I could to make him happy. Anything I could think of to make him happy. I
Right.
didn't put a time limit on it. I didn't say I'm going to do this for 3 months. And if he doesn't respond, then I'm out of here. I didn't do that. I just said I'm going to do everything I can to make him happy. I'd go to the grocery store. I'd buy his favorite food, his favorite treat, his
Mhm.
favorite ice cream, whatever. I would write a note and put it in his briefcase or whatever I could do. Anything that I could do to make him happy, I did. And you know what I discovered before long is that things did change
Oh,
drastically in
wow.
our relationship, but a lot of it is because I changed. My heart toward him changed. And
Wow.
absolutely, he loved me more. Absolutely he responded in really great ways, but the biggest change was me.
Wow. It's funny because I see people, and I've done this, Kim, and we're talking with Kim Sorrelle, and I've given a time limit. And I think a lot of us do that, and we don't get the response that we want or we hope for within 2 to 3 months, or maybe 2 to 3 weeks, or whatever it could be. Then we might be walking away from a great relationship and not knowing that that person might be right for us at least at the moment. Are we doing that too much, that you see out there, like just maybe giving people time limits to respond to us, and then if it doesn't, we just walk away not knowing that maybe we might be missing out on someone that's great for us?
Yes, yes. I think that happens a lot.
Mhm.
There's a reason why you walk down that aisle to begin with. There's a reason why you say I do.
Right.
And if you're saying it from the heart on that day, on your wedding day, and somehow life gets in the way, things happen, the kids come, the kids leave, the whatever's going on in life, jobs come and go, money comes and goes, whatever's going on in life, you let come into the relationship and muddy things up. all of a sudden you're thinking, why did I walk down the aisle? But if
Wow.
you can bring yourself back to that day and you can remind yourself, why did you walk down that aisle? Why did you say yes? There must have been some great things about him or
Mm.
her that made you say yes to begin with. So remember why. Tell yourself why and look for those things again. And then look inward and go, well, what
Mm.
am I doing? What am I contributing to the relationship that now we've gotten so bad? That now
Right.
we hardly talk to each other or we fight all the time or whatever's going on, we've lost interest in the relationship. What can I do? So often we look to the other person, what can they do? We want them to shape up. We
Mm.
want them to start giving. We want them to, show more love. But what about me? What can I do to change things?
And,
And
and sometimes it's taking the initiative can change the dynamics of a relationship.
absolutely. And I say, love the one you're with. I mean, my word, I was single at 47 years old, and I've dated some over the last several years since losing my husband. And it's no joke. Like it is not easy out there.
No, I
It's
agree.
it is not easy. So love the one you're with. Figure out ways to hang on to each other.
No, I love that. I love it. I, I like the way that you said love is a one-way street, but again, we're as long as we're making the effort, and again, if the other person doesn't respond, then either and tell me if I'm wrong here. We keep on trying. Why do we go down that aisle? What was it about that person that we loved at the beginning? Or B, do we just then maybe walk away and realize, hey, this is not going to work anymore? Is I know you said no time limit, but should we give ourselves a minimum time limit? I even hate to ask that question.
Yeah, I think as soon as you put a time limit on it, it means that you have certain expectations.
Okay, fair
If this
enough.
doesn't happen, that doesn't happen, that doesn't happen. But really, our expectations get us in trouble a lot.
Mm.
We got to realize that there aren't a whole lot of mind readers in the world. And quite
That's so true.
often,
That's so true.
quite often we have these expectations. We expect him to say this. I dressed up and did my best to make the place look great and made the best meal. And he's not responding. He's not saying, wow, the food's so good. And baby, you look so good. But in my head, I'm expecting it. I think he should say all those things.
Mm.
Well, I could get angry because he's not saying those things, but then realize he's not saying them because he doesn't know he's supposed to. I'm not
Mm.
asking him. I didn't say, "Did you like the food?" I just want him to say it. Well, he's not saying it because he can't read your mind. So quit with the expectations. Don't let your expectations muddy things up. Don't let them get you in trouble.
Wow. I think that's the hardest thing that we as even as men, we have expectations, and then when it doesn't get met, all of a sudden we're off. That's it. This is not going to work. And I love that. Have no expectations. Just you hope that the person that you did the work. You did the work. You cleaned the house. You did the cooking. That they notice and say, "Hey, wow, this is great. You did amazing." My God, Kim, that's you hit it right on the head. I love that. What's number three?
Number 3 is you don't give to get.
Mm.
Love is, like we said just a moment ago, love is a one-way street. So if you are loving because you're expecting something in return, because you're loving because you want love in return, you
Mm.
want something in return, whatever it happens to be, then it's not love. You're doing something to get something, and that's no longer love. Love just loves, period. It's
Right.
it's uh so easy to do, right? It's so easy to go, oh my gosh, they didn't even say thank you, or they didn't give me a casserole when I was sick, and here I cooked dinner for them when they were sick. Where were they at my daughter's wedding? It's easy to
Yeah.
say things like that, but in actuality, if you're doing something to get something in return, there's nothing in about love in that. You're doing something to get something. That's it. It's more like a transaction. And love is not a transaction.
Okay, so it's funny that you say that because I've been in relationships, Kim, where I definitely confess I'm expecting something. I don't get it. Then it festers inside. I get angry. I get I have resentful feelings and all that. Um, as the other person, where you've done the work and you're like, how should we just, again, for lack of a better phrase or words, should we just swallow our pride and just continue to do what we're doing to make the other person, I mean, ourselves happy first, but the other person happy as well? In other words, just keep on keeping on, and hopefully expect the other person to reciprocate some type of, whether it's happiness or love. I don't know if my question made any sense. So I know I
Yeah,
felt like I
no,
was,
no, it's a
yeah,
good question.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great question. There are certainly times you need to walk away from a relationship if there's abuse, if there's something going on in the relationship that is just toxic. You need to walk away. I mean,
Okay.
nothing should make you stay in a relationship that's bringing you down. But if you're in a committed relationship, not
Mhm.
just dating and feeling it out and seeing, is this person going to be right for me? But you've made the decision that this person is right for me. When you're in that situation, then then there should not be a time limit, because
Okay.
you shouldn't ever say, I'm going to try marriage for, like, 2 years, and we'll see how I feel after 2 years. I mean, the minute you do that, the commitment's out the window.
Yeah.
When you say I do, you're saying till death do us part.
Mhm.
And if you mean that, then you're not putting a time limit on things. And
Okay.
and of course, there's gonna be rocky roads. There's gonna be times when things are better than others. You're gonna go through stuff, and there's gonna be times that you feel like you're doing more for them than they are for you. But it doesn't matter, because you come back to another time. Every day
Right.
is a new day.
Right.
So ride it out, and just keep on loving.
Well, it's like I mean, how you were with your husband, where, you did the cleaning, the cooking, you did everything. And then he came home, he took a nap and everything. But you made it work where he saw the value that you were bringing. Again, sorry that I'm using that term value, but let's say he saw the love that you were bringing to him. And then you said that he reciprocated just as much, if not more, or at least close to it. And this relationship turned out to be happy for you. I think if more people see that and feel that and do that, maybe it's a cliche, but the world will be a better place. I really believe that. It's just, when we commit to something, let's do it for the long haul, not for, like you said, we put a time limit on it. Then it's not really a commitment. It's just a short commitment, and we're looking to find a way to escape. That's how I look at it. What's number four?
So number 4 is, love allows for differences.
Mm,
Love even embraces differences. It's okay to be different. It is okay. It is okay to have a different opinion. If we all agreed all the time, the world would be a boring place.
that's true.
But how often do we say, "Oh yeah, I love everybody, but those darn Republicans," or, "I love everybody, but the Democrats, you know what they're doing now," whatever.
Yeah.
We call out a people group. We love everybody, but,
Mm,
we love I love you, but.
yeah.
And there should be no buts. That people can have different opinions. Even when you're in a relationship, you don't have to agree on everything. You can work things out, but you don't have to have exactly the same political views or the same views on global warming, or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
It's okay to have different opinions, because love would say that you would stop and listen to the opinion. And when you really listen to your partner, when you really stop and listen, you hear things differently. Instead of having your rebuttal ready, well, I know this is what he's going to say. So this is what I'm saying next. Instead of doing that, just be quiet for a minute. Be quiet and really listen. You might learn something. Your opinion might change, or their opinion might change. Who knows? But it's okay to be different. It's okay to have differences and different opinions.
No, I listen. I think that again, that makes the world go around when people are different. For me, Kim, I love sports, and I've been with women that hated sports. But they put up with it. There were times that the woman I might have been dating at the time loved nighttime soap operas or reality shows, and I couldn't stand them. But I did everything I could. If she was watching, I would sit down and watch. I might not pay attention to it, but I'm going to be honest with you. I definitely would try to make an effort, and I didn't expect the same effort when I was watching sports. And if she wanted to watch it, I had no expectations. If she did, that was great. She asked me questions, that was great. I look at it this way: whatever makes you happy, whatever makes us happy, as long as we're together, we're in a committed relationship. And like you said, let's embrace the differences between us. I love that. What's number five?
So number 5 is that love has no labels.
Mm,
There are no labels. So that means that we are all individuals and nobody has taken the walk in our shoes. Every day that we have lived leads us to today. So the way we react to things, the way we talk about things, our belief system, everything that makes us who we are has been because of every day we've lived before. And some of the stuff that we've lived maybe wasn't so good and we decided to go a different way. So we shape ourselves, but at the same time, nobody has walked exactly your walk. And so the but we're so good at labeling people, right? We're just so good at it. Well, labeling them politically or labeling them based on geography, where they live or what neighborhood they live in or what school they attended or whatever it happens to be, what color their skin, their sexual orientation. We label, label, label. And love does away with all labeling. Love recognizes names. Love says your will,
right, right,
period, your
right.
will. I'm
Yeah,
Kim.
right.
We're individuals. We might believe different things. We might have faith in different things. We might think of different things, whatever that happens to be, but that's not who we are.
Mm,
We're Will and Kim.
right. Wow. So I think the toughest part, and I confess, yes, I do. I at times I labeled the person I was with, and now that you state it this way, I'm like, oh, geez, I'm ashamed that I did that. But I definitely like again moving forward, and it's just not, it's just like you said. I'm Will, you're Kim. She's so and so, I'm so and so. Whatever it is, I love it. Love has no label, and I at this point on, again, the way you talked about it, the way you described it, the way you put it in such simple terms that I could understand it. I definitely appreciate that. First of all, Kim, I want to thank you so much for being on People on Dating. I really appreciate it. Let's talk a little bit more about your books. Um, Tell us, when you wrote the books, and any other books you want to promote. Please tell us.
Sure, absolutely. My first book is called Cry Until You Laugh.
Mhm,
And I started writing when I was diagnosed with cancer and continued writing for a little over a year. So I wrote through the time my husband was diagnosed
mhm,
and the time that he died, because there wasn't anything out there to tell me how to feel or what it was, decisions I'd have to make or what was going on, and you just expect doctors to have all the answers and they don't necessarily have all the answers. And so I wanted a book that would tell me these things. So I wrote it. And then Love is my book on love, and both books are available everywhere. Love is in brick and mortar stores as well, Barnes and Noble, and I really believe, Will, that I did everybody's homework for them
right.
in
Oh, I
discovering love.
agree. I agree.
So if you really want to know love, buy the book, and it's couples are using it to do together, to read through it together and discuss it. And as individuals, if we understand love more, we're going to go into a relationship with a whole different attitude, a whole different outlook. And
Mm,
so get the book if you can, and give the book away to a few people because it really does open your eyes to what love really is. And I do coaching. I do coaching with couples. I do coaching with individuals.
Sure. Talk more about that. I was going to ask you that. That was my next follow up. Talk about your coaching program.
Yeah. Yeah. So, everything is love. Love is universal, right? It's everywhere, it's everything.
Yeah.
And so, some people that are having issues at work with coworkers or whatever, I started my first business when I was 18 years old. So, I have that. I'm an entrepreneur as well as an author and speaker and coach and everything else. And so, I have that background. I know what it's like in a work environment. I know what it's like in a marriage. I know what it's like parenting. And so I am able to coach and really help people through difficult times, or just questions that
Yeah.
people have that they wonder, well, how could I do this differently? Or, what do I need to change in life? Or what do I need to add to my life? And
Yeah.
and so I'm available for that.
Do you coach? Is it in-person meetings or you could do online meetings too? Does it matter at this point with you when you do coaching?
Right, right. Mostly it's online because
Okay.
people can be anywhere then.
True. Very
But
true. Yeah.
right, I'm happy to do face to face, but online is great. Online works well. Thank you, Zoom, right?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it
Yeah.
shortened the distance between us. You're in Michigan, I'm in New York City. So look, we're talking, and yeah, I love Zoom. And if somebody want to get in contact with you, what's the best way?
Well, I am literally the only Kim Sorrelle spelled my way in the entire world
Okay.
because there are so many extra letters, two R's, two E's, two L's, Sorrelle. But I am easy to find. If you just type in love is, I should pop up Kim Sorrelle. My website is kimsorrelle.com, but you can also get there with loveis.info. And I do have a free 14-day love challenge
Oh,
on
talk
my
about
website.
that. Oh, it's on your
Yeah,
website. I'll definitely put that
right.
on the show notes. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's a simple thing to do. It's just something to focus on every day, something different to focus on every day.
Okay.
And if you sign up for it on my website, I will send you for free a WWLD What Would Love Do wristband.
Oh,
Because if you
nice.
can answer any question that way, what would love do, you're going to make great decisions.
All right. No, I'll definitely put that on the show notes. I really appreciate that. And anyway, again, Kim, thank you so much for being on People on Dating. My God, if you saw me, I was just, as you can see, I was just writing tons of notes. So, because you gave me so many great value adds. Anyway, again, Kim, thank you so much for being on People on Dating. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. You're wonderful. Your show was great and so
Thank you.
valuable. Thank you for what you do.
Oh no, thank you, and I really appreciate it. And I definitely looking to have you back on, hopefully in the next couple of months, because I definitely think you have more to say to us.
I do. There's plenty more.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Kim.
All right. Thank you.
Well, everyone, that was Kim Sorrelle, and you can find her at kimsorrelle.com. Kim, thank you so much for being on People on Dating. Much appreciated. You can find me on peopleondating.com. That's peopleondating.com. Check out our past shows, check out our blog, and check out our resource page. Also, when you get a chance, please go to Apple Podcasts. Please subscribe, leave a review, tell us how we can make this show better. We're also on Google Podcasts and Spotify. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much for listening. Until next time, I'm Will Morales, and remember, this is just a conversation, no judgment. Thanks, and have a safe day, everybody. Bye.